You've owned the regular cars. It's time for a luxury SUV. Now, the BMW X5 might be on your list, but for some, the Volvo XC90 could be better. At the Edmunds team, we drive and review nearly every car on sale, and we work with CarMax to give you the best shopping advice. We'll cover value, reliability, advantages of each, and tell you which one we recommend. Now, I have no idea yet, so let's go find out. So what do you need to know about these two? Well, the X5 and the XC90 are both mid-sized luxury SUVs, one size up from cars like the Toyota RAV4 and the Tesla Model Y. Both come with a few different engine choices, including plug-in hybrid versions, and most of the examples you'll find for sale will have all-wheel drive. Today, we're looking at a 2022 and 2023 model, but both the X5 and the XC90 haven't had new versions in a while. So that means a lot of what we'll learn today will also be true if you're looking at models from, say, 2020. Now, if you're interested in learning about vehicle generations and how cars change over time, check out our video. We'll get into interiors, trunk space, and how quiet and comfortable these are to drive in a bit. But first, how much do they cost? Well, as always, it depends on trim level and condition, but here's what we found. On average, you'll pay more for the BMW, but on the low end, you can find used X5s and XC90s for about what you'd pay for a new, well-equipped Honda CR-V. But just remember, since these are luxury cars, a lot of their optional features were a la carte. So if there's a specific extra that you really want, you may have to check a couple of listings to find it. But like any car purchase, saving money up front won't matter if you're spending more cash at the shop. Based on data from RepairPal, an independent reliability tracker, it seems like you'll have fewer headaches in the Volvo. The data tells us that if you're driving the BMW, you'll need repairs more often, and that on average, you'll spend $300 more per year on repairs and maintenance. That could be a deal breaker. The Volvo also has an edge in crash tests. It earns better scores in government crash tests, and the primary independent crash tester, the IRHS, also gives the Volvo higher marks, especially for its headlights. Most X5s have headlights with excessive glare, and if you've ever been on the receiving end of too bright headlights, you know how annoying that can be for other drivers. Even if it's more expensive, less reliable, and doesn't score as well on crash tests, there's a lot to like about this BMW. Wow, okay, these seats, super comfy. They're firm and supportive with a wide range of settings for different body types, and this driving position feels just right. I also like that there's adjustable lumbar support, but you can also adjust these side panels so the seats can either hold you in place or give you a little extra breathing room. I really like the tech up here too. There's a pair of nice screens, one for drive info and a touchscreen for navigation, music, and everything else. And the software is pretty intuitive once you get the hang of it. Now the stereo upgrades are really great too. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are nice modern touches, and what I really appreciate is that the voice command understands you when you talk normally. You don't have to memorize specific phrases to get them to work. Set the AC temperature to 62 degrees on both sides.
All right, I'm setting the temperature at 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
I don't love the interior storage though. This bin under the armrest is pretty small, same with the door pockets. And if you're using the cup holders, there's no easy place to put your phone. But of course, enjoying a BMW has a lot to do with driving it. Now we could talk about the different engine options available, or the fact that BMW makes a crazy fast version called the X5M. But what you really need to know is that even the regular engine feels smooth and powerful in a way that really gives you confidence on the road. The suspension has a bunch of different modes too. Now the X5 I'm driving has air suspension, so you can definitely feel a big difference between the everyday soft comfort setting and the much firmer sports suspension you may use if you're driving up a twisty mountain road. One thing I don't like is getting in and out of this thing. The seat feels like it's far from the edge of the door, so unless you and your passenger are above average height, it can be a struggle. Once you're inside, there's plenty of space for carpooling or picking up friends and family from the airport. And with such a big interior, the trunk is just as big as you think. fold down the back seat, and there's even space for the occasional furniture move. So while we're out here, I want to show you something. Now this is one of the very few SUVs on the market with a partial fold down tailgate, which is great for loading and unloading, having a seat while you take off dirty boots, or enjoying a little picnic. I love these things. So that's the X5. Expensive and not super reliable, but a great interior, comfortable yet sporty driving experience, and tons of space inside. But now, I gotta know more about that Volvo. Ooh, how fancy. The XC90 has a lot of these great details, like the shifter, the little Swedish flags on the seats, and it even comes with 2 different color key fobs. And what stands out here is the tech. The 2023 XC90 still has the same smallish screen older XC90s had, but this is on a different software. It's running Android, Google software, which means you get Google Maps, Google Assistant, which is better than BMW's voice command, and you have apps like Spotify, Pandora, or Waze through the Google Play Store. You can also connect your Google account so it knows all your saved locations. And if you want to use Apple, all XC90s have Apple CarPlay, but unlike the BMW, you got to use your cable. Oh, and if you like music, try to get one with this Bowers & Wilkins audio system. It was only available as an option on the highest trim level, but if you can find it, me and some of the other Edmunds folks had a listening party earlier, and this is one of the best sound systems we've come across. This is a pretty minimalist interior though, and that could be frustrating for some people. There's not much storage, just like the BMW, and there aren't many buttons. Most controls are in the touchscreen, and sometimes it can be confusing or frustrating to find what you want. Behind the wheel of the XC90 is fine. Now, you don't get that same level of confidence as you do in the X5 unless you go with the powerful plug-in hybrid version, but this car is quieter than the BMW, which is really important in a luxury vehicle. Now, we do wish that this was as comfortable as the BMW, but it's tricky to find a car that ticks all your boxes. The XC90's real party trick is in the back seat, or behind it. Even though these SUVs are almost the exact same size, the XC90 comes standard with third row seating. The X5 was technically available with a third row, but they're really hard to find. Of the hundreds of current generation X5s on CarMax.com right now, only a handful of them have a third row. Now, these extra seats aren't especially spacious. You wouldn't want to put an adult back here for an extended amount of time, but these bonus seats are perfect for a quick ride across town or carpool duty. And with the third row folded down, you actually have a little more room behind the second row than you would in the X5. And that's your Volvo XC90. More understated than the BMW, not as fast, but a reliable, affordable alternative with great tech and extra seating that could really help in a pinch. So which one would you choose? Does the BMW's trick tailgate catch your eye, or are you a sucker for Swedish design? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.